Back to HadoopExam. In this we will be discussing problem scenario 10. So let's go to the simulator here and go to the problem scenario 10. So in this problem scenario we have been given the schema definitions like all the tables and their relationship. So we have departments, table, categories, products, order items, orders and customers. So this is like some referential integrity also defined here in the SQL side if there is a referential integrity. Okay, so let's go to the problem first. If what exactly it is asking us. So you have been given database named retail.db in the mysql database with the following detail, which consists 6 tables and data model you can see in image. So this is user, retail.db, password Cloudera, and retail.db and jdbc. You can see that is the URL. So what activities we have to do here: import the entire database in a file format, this which is good for analytical application on Hadoop. Easy group, for example, group your data in columns. So group, it's not asking about the query. Okay, it's groups. So use the format where you can group your, like at storage level it can you group the data on the columns level. So you should be aware which file format support this thing. And so Parquet file format is for this purpose. Okay, and should be able to query this data using Impala. So once you store it, so you should be able to query this data using the Impala. So what they want it exactly, when you import this data, it should be imported in the warehouse directory of Hive, so it can be easily queried. Otherwise, if you store it somewhere, import somewhere else, then you cannot query it. You have to create external table and then query it. So rather you just import it into the Hive warehouse directory. If you don't understand warehouse directory, I would suggest please go to the Hadoop professional training provided by us, where we have discussed Hive in depth. Okay, also while importing, to save space, you do compression using the snappy codec. You have to use the snappy codec to compress the data, so it will use the lesser space in the hdfs file system. In Impala, write the query which can produce 5 most popular product categories and save the results in HadoopExam best categories.csv file. And in Impala, write the query which can produce the top 10 revenue generating products and save the result in this file. Okay, so let's go to the first thing, importing the entire database in the Hive warehouse directory. Why Hive? Because Hive and Impala both refers to the same warehouse directory. So there's just the way you can query the data in the HDFS is the same, but an underlying implementation of Hive uses the MapReduce and Impala uses some other which is more faster compared to the Hive. Okay, and this is the Cloudera tool, actually the created by Cloudera, that Impala. Okay, so let's go to the first make sure you don't have already imported tables in Hive. If you have done, then please drop the same. So let's go to the Hive. We will be doing everything in the default schema, so we should not have this table already imported, like department, categories, products, order items, or customers and orders. If we have imported, then we have to drop it. So let's first go to the Hive. You can use Hive or Impala both, but I would prefer Hive first. And in the default schema, let me check, we should not have these tables already available, like departments, categories and products kind of thing. So if this available, then we have to drop it explicitly, and then we will export it. Show tables. So we do have categories, customers, all these tables. So why can't we drop first? Drop table, categories. Sorry, it's a mistake. Okay, so now table categories has been dropped. Drop this table, customers. The same name of the table should not exist. Oh, sorry. Drop table name, and we will drop it. Now show tables. So we should not have tables which are already there. So department, categories, products, nothing is there. Order items, obviously not there. Orders and customers, there is no tables on this. Okay, so now we need to import the entire schema. So let's go here. Using the scope we can import this. Okay, and we can import it as, we have to import it as a Parquet file. So here like a scope command, scope has this options available. Import all tables, not only just import. If you have used just import, then it can help you to import only one tables. Okay, connect, like this is the jdbc connection string which has been provided with us. So we just provide the connections detail here. Username is retail dba and password is Cloudera. Sorry, compression codec is, we have to define snappy, because question is asking to use the compression as a snappy codec and as a Parquet file. So we have columnar storage, it is group by column. So storage level, it should be group by on column. So you can read more about the Parquet files in details if you want it from the internet, or we will be adding the few sessions on the Hadoop professional training on the Parquet file for in few days. So you can go there to understand more on the Parquet files. Okay, so now let's warehouse directory. Okay, so now warehouse directory is the directory where the entire data which Hive refers by default is stored here. So user Hive warehouse directory is the, that is always by default this locations. Like if explicitly you have changed it or your admin have changed it, if you have not changed it, that would always remain user Hive warehouse directory. And Hive import, we will use the import Hive import, because we want it as a Hive table that needs to be imported. So we have to use Hive import options. There are not default options, because it won't create the Hive import. And the number of mappers, we suggest one, but in exam they can ask you to more than one mappers, because they give you the multi-node cluster. So but here which are, we are using the virtual machine, so I prefer the single node single mapper. So let me run this query first from the Spark shell directly. So let's open the terminal and blindly copy paste here. I would suggest you type in each option so you can remember for your real exam. So if you remember the things, so then it will be faster for you to implement things in the production, in the real exam. So it will take longer time, because it will import each table individually. So let's go for further steps by the time it finishes. Okay, so now once the import has been finished, we can just check the individual directory here. So the drop table syntax has been given here. Now I'm not given like which table needs to be dropped or something. So all the existing MySQL table is there, then we have to drop it. If not there, then it's fine. So if you are doing multiple times same exercise, then we need to drop it. So now once we have imported this process finished, we should have the warehouse directory. Inside for each table we should have a directory. So we have how many tables here? So like 6 tables, so 6 directories would be there. Okay, so now let's move to the next step. We'll check the by default Impala doesn't know the schema change. Like we have warehouse directory created and we have imported the data, but by default Impala doesn't know like what has been imported. So what we have to do this, we have to invalidate the metadata. So like we cannot discuss too much here like on the Hive metadata and all these things. So there are explicit session we have created on conceptually. If you know these things, then that's fine, you don't have to go through. Else you need to understand the metadata and Hive and many warehouse directory and many more things. It is mandatory. Like here in this small video we cannot explain, because this is the huge topic which we have covered as part of our Hadoop professional training. So hence first make Impala aware about metadata change and update the same. So invalidate metadata is the command. Now check all the tables are available or not in Impala show tables. Write a query and execute it to find 5 most popular categories. Okay, so let me see the where is the progress. Is there any problem or it is still okay? So mapper is a little slower, or virtual machine. Okay, so table by table it is importing. So right now we are on the categories table. Okay, so let it get run, because for each table it will take time, so we have to go to. So now what our next is activities in Impala, write a query which can produce my 5 most popular product categories and save the result in this file. Okay, so 5 most popular product. How would we get it? It's like about your database knowledge, query knowledge. Okay, so I'm just using like here from tables like order items tables and inner join with the products tables and the categories table. So 3 tables are joined together. So we want to get the category name and group by order item quantity. Okay, so like which is the what I would say, group by category name. Okay, so we don't have category name information in order item. So let's go to this schema. So if I go to order item table, so this is the order item ID, but we don't have the from which category this product is there, correct? So we have to join this like first from get the product ID, okay, and then from the product ID we get the product category ID. So this category ID information will get it here from this table, and what is the name of the category, we can get it from this table category. So we have to join categories, products and order item table. So order item ID here is the primary key, here product ID is the primary key, here category ID is primary key. So order item ID join here with the this table and we'll get the product category ID. Okay, so let me go to the query. Order items, we join inner join with the products table. Okay, so this is the products table based on the order item product ID and product ID. Okay, so this is order item product ID. Okay, we'll be using this key here, order item product ID, and then joined with the product ID. So this is the common. So we'll get the product category ID, and from the product category ID we'll get the category, we'll join category ID and product category ID, and then we'll get the category name. So you can read more about on the join. So this is the where category ID and product category ID will be joined, and group by the category name. So now we have category name information by joining all these 3 tables like this. What is the category name? So now this is the category name and group by, so order item quantity. We will count like for the in each group how many item has been in each in each category we will be counting the order item. So how many product have been ordered in each category, and then we'll get the 5 results. So like limit the first 5 result because we have order by count. So we have descending order, we have like output, so that would be sorted by in descending order, and we'll get the first 5 results. So from each category uh, 5 product category like 5 most popular product categories we can find it out. Okay, we are getting the which categories are more popular. Okay, so based on the how many I order items have been sold, so like the maximum items sold from a category would be our like top 5 category. So let's the process get finished. Okay, something wrong. Something goes wrong here. Okay, let me go here. I think we already have this directory. Let me go to this. Sorry, cd. Okay, we have to go to dfs hyphen ls. just a minute. Okay, so let me tell you what happened here exactly. So when we run this process, we ask it to create the parquet file, but when we go to the user hive warehouse directory, I can see departments table, department directory is already there in the warehouse directory. I have dropped the table, but somehow this department directory is not removed. And you can see here, this is the text file, not in parquet file. So that's the reason it is saying this file is already exists and not in the parquet format. So that's the reason it is giving the error. So what we have to do it, like we have to again delete the all the files which are specific to this stage database. So we'll delete it and then rerun the process. Okay, so delete forever, yes. So let it get deleted. I don't think so any other is there table which is schema specific. Okay, so let's go, salary is not part of this, correct? Okay, so now let's rerun the command. Okay, we have to wait little more to get finished, so I'll pause the video meanwhile it get finished. Okay, so sorry, I'll rerun the command just. Okay, this command I'll rerun. I have deleted. Okay, let me drop the table again, even because it is possible it had created the table in hive. I have deleted the directory, sorry, but let's go to the show tables. It should have table as well. Show tables. Okay, so we have categories, department and all this thing. So to drop the table as well as because I have explicitly created directory in the background, that's the reason it is giving the exception. However, it should not have this. Okay, so getting my point, actually we should not have this table as well as we should not have a directory created inside of the ender user hive warehouse directory. Okay, so let me delete this as well. So now go to the show tables. So we don't have the tables now. This is we have deleted. Now let's run the process and I hope this time it should successful. 6 tables needs to be imported and it will take little longer. Okay, so we were at the query. Okay, we'll run this query only once our process is finished. And what next query is saying, right? An Impala query. It doesn't matter you write a query in Hive or Impala, both are the same. Okay, which can produce the top 10 revenue generating products and save the result in this file. So we have to know which top 10 products. Okay, the products which are top 10 product. Okay, we need to get it. So let's go to the query. So in this query what we are doing, actually we have again the join. Okay, so now we do first select the cost of revenue generated by each product. So this is available information in order items and we will join with the orders tables to get the cost of the order. So we will just join it to get the what exactly as a order items versus orders to check whether orders are not cancelled and should not be suspected fraud. If this is this status, then we have to ignore this because this is not our revenue in the part of this table. Okay, so now to just discard this part, these two orders. Okay, and then what we are doing is a group by on the order item product ID. So for product ID we will be grouping, so same product, and the summing up all the like sum functions we have used, which will take summation of the all the order item subtotal. So this is the amount collected for each product ID. So we'll be we'll be adding all the product ID, correct? And then once the output would be like order product ID, and it's like which product ID or the product ID has the highest revenue here. But now we want name of the product. Okay, so what we will do this, like we'll join it again with the products table and output of this based on the product ID. So we will have product ID, product name, and its revenue. So and we will be order by descending order and take the first 10 records. So it will give you the first highest 10 products, highest revenue generating products here. Okay, so let this process get finished first. So let me check which table we have finished. I hope we have finished with the categories table, and we have finished should be our it is on customer tables. Now it's on the department table. So we have 6 tables, so let it get finished first and wait here. So now here the process is finished, all the table imported successfully. So let's go to the hue again and check whether directory table have been imported or not. Go to the warehouse directory and refresh it. So we should be having all the tables created here: orders, order items, products. So it is all tables and departments table. So let's go inside one of the table and we can see the parquet files created here. Okay, so I don't think so we can read this file. Let me try to read it. I doubt it can be open. Okay, so let's leave it. Actually, this parquet extension shows us like this file has been created. So but I don't know. Oh right, it can be because it's passed by the hue, the parquet file, and that can be read here. So this is our data. So this is the each table would be imported like that. Okay, so now let's move to our problem statement. Next, we have checked like this is the directory which we have checked from the hue. Similarly from the what I say, from command line also we can check it. So I just Hadoop hdfs user warehouse directory. So this is all the data directory which we have checked from the hue, and inside the categories we have seen the it should be parquet file has been created. Okay, now let's move ahead and show tables. Okay, so we have to enter into the Impala shell first. Impala shell. Okay, so we are inside the Impala shell. Go to the show tables. I don't think so it will show all the tables again. So there is I don't know what exactly the command in the Impala. I'm more aware about the Hive show schema. So some different commands for Impala. So show tables is there here. Okay, so I was doing some spelling mistake. So here just by default it's giving all the tables. So we have in Impala this table created customers and categories. I think this is outdated. That's the reason we say invalidate metadata. Okay, so this command, because we don't have other tables here, correct? So we just need to invalidate metadata, and then we will see like our new tables like order items and all should be reflected here. Okay, so let's for the show tables command. Yeah, we can see here the order items, orders, and salary. So sorry, this tables previously this was not there. So that's the reason we have to invalidate. But if you are using the Hive, then we don't have to. So show tables we have done. So now this is with just firing the query from here. We have already discussed this query. I hope it should work. So this is, we can run the same query from the Hive because the same syntax should work. Okay, so parallelly in another shell, let me run the square or another query. Okay, so this is Hive. Okay, let's exit from here and go to Impala shell and run the next query, and let's wait for results to get finished both the query. So to save the time, I'm running the query parallelly. Okay, so this query has finished and it says like number of items sold from this clits is the highest, then men's footwear, and then women's apparel, and then indoor and outdoor games, and then fishing. So these are the 5 categories. Okay, has been created. Okay, so this is has been generated. So just saving the CSV file is just like what I say, from the hue we can go to the query editor, Impala, and fire the query, and we can save the data. Okay, so that's not a big deal. Sorry, I'll run the query again here, and this is the output, and save as, we can say, whatever top 5 categories. Save it. Okay, sorry, it's not saving the data actually. It says query have been saved actually. So let me run the query here and then save the result to hdfs or a new hive table. So in hdfs, path to csv file. Okay, so top 5 categories .csv file, I believe. So we should be able to save. Could not save the result. Why? Okay, I think it needs the entire path. Okay, we have to select user Cloudera, and okay, we have to create the file first, and then only we can append the data in this, I believe. Or okay, so now we cannot save it directly. Actually, we have to first create the file inside this. So here we have to create new file, then only we can save it. So let's go to the another browser. Very simple. Go to the hue. I'm not going to save both the file actually. I'm just go to the file browser and just create a new file, top 5 categories .csv file, and create it, this file, empty file, and let's try to save it using the hue. Let's check whether we can save it. Okay, still it is saying we cannot save it. Top 5 categories, save. Okay, so we have to explicitly select. Okay, so now we can save this file. Okay, with this information. Okay, so now let's see whether we have a result from our second query. So this is our second query where we have this product ID, and this is the product which has the highest revenue. This is the product with the second highest revenue. So this way we can, again, by firing this query here from the hue, and we can save the file here. So that's about this problem statement 10. So this is little complex problem, so we try to put like problem as close as possible, uh, and give you more and more scenarios, so whenever you face any problem or something, so you should be able to solve in real exam. So that's the reason I'm saying you practice as much as possible. So we are trying to add as much scenario as possible. So thanks for watching, and if you're watching this video on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe it, because our new upload will automatically notify you once we upload the video. So thanks for watching.